Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Civilization VII, where today we continue apace toward our various goals. You know, this culture victory, it's not as close as I thought it would be. I really thought we were going to be able to race up this one, and it's not quite happening that way. So we're working on the first of our three big space race projects here. Something happened that caused the timer for this to gain a bunch of time. We're now at 48 48 turns to production. Like we gotta get our happiness under control, obviously. But I think a big part of that is just I need money. I need to be able to buy out buildings. Our gold income is getting up there. We're getting to a point where we can buy stuff out more frequently, and that is certainly helpful. Hopefully we'll be able to get that number up high enough that we're able to purchase some decent happiness buildings in the places that desperately need the happiness. And then, so we have a bunch of factory resources here. This would not be a terrible place to build a rail station and also a port. We would need both here. But I do think I want to finish my steel mill. I think I want to finish my industrial park. Then we'll use all the hammers from that to do the thing. Okay, Baghdad. Baghdad doesn't really need anything in particular at this moment. We could run some merchants. Yeah, you know what? Build me a merchant or two. It's probably a good idea for us to make some trade routes happen. Just keep looking around and gathering intel on the area around us. And we are starting to have a lot of culture available again, or influence. So let's push those numbers up a little bit more income. Okay, you chill right there, because that is where you are going to do research as soon as there is research that we are allowed to do. And we're definitely beelining that on the civics tree at this point. Alright, city-state bonus. I do think that we want production bonuses toward constructing museums is not nothing, certainly. Every culture building receives +1 culture for every city-state that you are suzerain of is actually starting to be a decent amount of bonus. And of course we get a free tech.
Here, among these dark
Although it seems to prefer to pick mercenary or masteries, which is not always what we're looking for. We could just devote this city's production queue towards science or culture. You know what? Let me give our culture a little push here, and you need to. I mean, it seems like there's quite a lot of resources over in Copan, and it's very easy to get the unit down there. You can see lots of fortified districts for the players around us. Definitely don't want to try to go in through military nonsense. It also just seems like the military, like, the best case scenario is you have to conquer 10 cities. Okay, that probably doesn't matter too much. I guess, do I need to... No, I don't need to purchase any repairs for my fishing boats or anything. Right, because the way the military one works is you can get up to 3 ideology points from having an ideology and then conquering a city of a different ideology. You only need 20 points, not 30, to cap out. So you only need to capture 7 cities under optimal conditions. It still feels like a lot, right? Are you really moving more explorers over to this space? Is that going to be productive? Is that a helpful thing to do? Let's grab another social policy slot and also another free tech.
The face of a city changes faster than a human heart.
All right, I do like this thing where we're getting a bunch of small improvements to our industry just kind of for free. So +2 influence in settlements for every resource assigned to them. It's not like horrible. Gold Rush is probably the thing that we want to equip here. Yeah, that's a fair amount of extra gold per turn right away. A group of gold miners announced they no longer wish to pay taxes. They declare secession from America and raise a new flag over their settlement, that of the Great Republic of Rough and Ready. That's okay. So we can leave the men to their fun or crush the secession. Historically, if you don't know your American labor history, historically, it's been more the first one, although often what the U.S. government would actually do is simply loan military resources to the company that the miners work for and let that company murder the shit out of them. But I guess we can do it personally here. I mean, I'm really curious where this story goes. Let's leave them to their thing, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So as we continue to accumulate gold here, I am inclined. First of all, the city is like very unhappy, and that's the thing that I would like to fix. It turns out every building costs 1 million. Every building costs 1 million gold. So never mind. I am inclined to purchase. I thought we had some stuff from like previous eras available. Oh, we are definitely going to go ahead and do that. So you have some bonus production and some bonus food and happiness. Haran could certainly use some bonus happiness. And then we just have raw plus production, which I think is like... Probably Baghdad is a reasonable target for that. A lot of motorized stuff moving through my territory, but in theory it all belongs to our ally. Hopefully it's all good. Yeah, I guess this is the thing. I could be stealing resources from people. Let's get that sawmill back up and running, and then like schoolhouse? Probably it is schoolhouse. This wouldn't be a terrible place for an aerodrome, actually. Just for, you know, being prepared to defend myself. And obviously the industry for that would be handy to have. Okay, we know the lay of the land a little bit better than we once did. Okay, this is down to 36 turns. We really need to get that accelerated.
Barrage. Curtain fire. Mines. Gas.
Good lord. Okay, it's going to take her the rest of the hour to read that. On the 4th of July, rough and ready citizens are denied beer in a nearby town because they are foreigners. They immediately disband their young nation and join the festivities. That's such a stupid fucking... Okay. The people who write for this game are children. Alright. I mean, like, just like the history of workers' revolts in this country, just to be like a little bit respectful. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can tell that one got under my skin a little bit, but it's whatever. It's fine. So I'm like, we do need to buff up happiness for sure. But it's hard for me to not want to just grab more raw industry. Like, what is our happiness being so low actually doing? Is it reducing my other values? Is it... Like, is this something I need to fix? Or how desperately do I need to fix this? Happiness, yeah, these are important highlights of happiness. Production. Settlements generate happiness. They consume happiness to maintain specialists. Happiness allows you to earn celebrations. Happiness is used for the upkeep of local specialists and buildings. Settlements that exceed their cap. Please see unhappiness consequences pages for more details. That's not a clickable link. For no reason at all. Okay, local unhappiness effects. Each point of net local unhappiness conveys a minus 2% penalty to other yields. Yes, so I do need to fix it. I thought that was the case, but they don't make that information maybe as like front and center available as they should. Also, we're getting some culture out of this, so that's not bad either. 6. And then we'll buy another one when we can. Alright, so now it is radio into mobilization for sure, into aerodynamics. Yeah, we don't need to pursue any of these other masteries unless somebody starts getting aggressive with us. Batuta is moving military units like just kind of back and forth on the border a lot, but he's not like adding to, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a real threat. They're just waddling back and forth. It's very strange. Alright, you just wait here for the next wave, and it's coming, actually. We're only one civic off now of being able to see the next era of artifacts. My guess is that they're already looking at them and that there's one in that tile.
The members of the
So we may end up way behind on this. Nobody's actually gained. Tecumseh has more than he had before. So yeah, we're probably behind. That said, see what we can get. 14 turns. Jeez. It is not our primary thing. It's fine. Yeah, extra happiness towards maintaining specialists is not worded in a way that makes any sense, but in theory it should make our lives a little bit easier in these cities that are vastly unhappy because of the fact that they are running a lot of specialists. We're still pretty short on happiness here as well. Here, we don't actually have the option of gaining any happiness. We sure can gain borders. Yeah, that social policy really did help. Heron is in much better shape. Do we want 5 food and a gold, or do we want 4 food and an industry? Honestly, actually, the happiness is high enough here that we can probably just specialize. Happiness is very strongly negative in this location. So let's get some industry and large amounts of happiness from these mountains. Alpha Stot should probably also be gaining happiness, but don't have any spaces that are quite as rich. And then this city, yeah, the city just continues to build fishing boats. This little town, rather, continues to build fishing boats everywhere forever. Happiness is actually negative here too, huh? I feel like we got hit by like a happiness bomb at some point. Okay, we're all right here, but you know, you can get better. Okay, so down here we've got our America thing finished. So I guess, yeah, at this point it is like rail station and port, and let's start connecting up for the victory type. Once again, I'm going to just give my cultural output a little push, because it would be very good indeed. Where did I put that? Here it is. No, wait, that's not... You cannot complete the industrial park. That's a lab. It says we have one of the 2 buildings built already. Did I build it in a place where I can't? Okay, yeah, I built over the observatory. It should not put in red text on the screen, you cannot finish the industrial park, if what it means is, if you were to do this, you would not be able to. I don't think I want to specialize my towns. I think I'm good on that. I'm not sure what it is exactly that caused us to gain a point of population and caused the game to want to check on our upgrade status in every village. Okay, don't mess with that slot. Here's fine. And look at that. Hearn's almost not even unhappy anymore. I will say that the economic stuff feels more opaque to me in this version than in the more recent civs that I remember. Yeah, okay, you know what? I should be doing a similar thing here. I should be stealing your resources because they do have an awful lot of loose influence. We have endeavors running with other people already. We could get a really sick laboratory. 17 points for building over a happiness building. Maybe not the wisest thing to do. Yeah, probably not. Well, we can get 10 from putting it down here at least. So we're working hard on Oxford, which is going to be pretty good for us if we do get it. I'm a little surprised that it looks like we might, because I really thought, given how late we started it, I really thought for sure it was going to get finished before we got anywhere near it. Ugh, 9 turns, huh? 9 turns until we have access to the next batch of these things, and I am definitely thinking the AI has beaten us to it. Well, I mean, maybe not. The numbers aren't rising as sharply as I might expect, you know? And in the meantime, our incomes are getting pretty good. It's nice to be suzerain of a whole lot of city-states like this. All right, I don't think we get anything spectacular immediately from radio. It is remarkable.
We annihilated the world before your very ears. You will be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it.
It really is remarkable how stable diplomatic relations seem to be. Nobody's really, like, interested in... Oh, transmission. Am I going to bother decoding this? No. No, I don't think so. All right, hold on a second. I'm just going to tab out. It's going to kill the audio for a sec. Tab out, Morse code, decoder. I can, in theory, do it by hand, but, like, I am not fast. Okay, so it's dash dash dot dash dash dot 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 dash. What is that? 4 dots. Okay, well, did I put that in right? Because that doesn't look like anything. It might just be gibberish. Whatever, I'll just click one. That's pretty weird, though. Alright, mobilization. So yeah, we didn't pick up anything of value from this as a whole. +2 culture and happiness on each quarter in this city. It's actually pretty nice. +1 happiness. Okay, you know what? The mastery for this might be worth grabbing. But I wanna get our break the sound barrier unlocked at the very least, so that we can run it after we finish the other flight project. We can worry about other stuff later. Okay, Lafayette has finished constructing the Hermitage. And, you know, good for him. Yeah, schoolhouse. Schoolhouse seems wise. Put it down next to this laboratory. Nothing is reporting its build time correctly either. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're always getting different. As soon as we put it in the queue, it's a different number of turns than it claimed it was going to be. And I do think that's kind of weird. All right, Ibn Battuta is now on democracy. So we got to talk about these ideology paths a little bit. We'll do that after we finish researching hegemony. Okay, we could build some combat stuff. I think I'm just gonna keep doing this. One more of those projects will run us through the back end of hegemony there. Let's go ahead and finish our industrial park. Well, it'll finish the industrial park later. Sorry, you're at 50 industry, because like I don't think that's not the place where we want to do our final projects, right? Baghdad is theoretically 68. Alpha Stat is 80 production. Yeah, Alpha Stat turns out to be the best target for this stuff, and I guess we just built that aerodrome there. That's pretty good news. So maybe our purchasing resources should actually go into making sure there's as many hammers hooked up here as possible. Since this may be the place where we try to do the thing. So we have a Democrat here. Lafayette. It was Lafayette who grabbed one already, right? And he went communist? Maybe not. Well, we'll figure it out later. Okay, we've got our first rail station up. It's true. Someday soon, we might actually generate an economic point. Could happen. We're starting to see some like actually decent build times here, which I'm very excited about. Oh, you know what's happening here is somebody else finished. Let me not get too excited. Somebody else finished our wonder is why this looks good. All right, well, we probably want to start a new district here. And let me just go ahead and put in the queue the steel mill behind it. Yeah, that's a shame. That would have been a handy wonder. The free technologies would have been nice, but we'll live without it. I do feel like we should probably build like a radio station or something. We can get Zabid over the zero happiness threshold. We probably ought. So we're in the period now where everybody is finishing all of their wonders. And we have a narrative choice. Okay. They're coming around and handing out fairly large amounts of gold. Fairly exciting. All right, don't worry. I'm aware of the happiness thing. I'm on top of it. I gotcha. So Zabid, does Zabid have a port? It doesn't. Should probably make one, right? It's busy building something right now, but like, it's going to be the first city to actually connect to connect factory resources to our rail network. We just have to also build a port elsewhere, but getting one of them going quickly at least starts bringing in the gold that can help you build the other one or purchase the other one. So we still have one more city-state that's going to flip to our suzerainty which is going to be another free technology. And that's in 6 turns. So yeah, bonuses have yet to cease accumulation. Let's grab this mountain and put Zabid's happiness in a pretty okay spot, I think, actually. And then here in Sparta, does Sparta have any factory resources? No, it just has resources. So there's not a really strong reason to build a rail station here. We do need to keep fighting unhappiness. But also schoolhouse, you know. But also what if science building. I guess in the open, the best spot we're going to get is that. So 8 science is still a lot, right? How's everybody else doing yield-wise? So we are like crushing everyone on science. It is wild how much more science we have than everybody else.
The young men shall fight. The women shall make tents. The old shall arouse the courage of the warriors.
That's okay. That's weird. That's a weird thought, and it's weirdly phrased. You're weird. Let's get our aerodynamics, because we definitely want to be able to start that second project as soon as possible. And in the interim, yeah, just keep pushing science in places. Here I'd be building over a library, which I'm sure is giving at least 1 point of science. Okay, here comes the moment. Now, we do have other players who have comparable, or even in Batuta's case, quite superior resource outputs, culture output to our own.
Feel free, because we lack the very language to articulate our...
So we may not have gotten here first. I do kind of want to run cultural imperialism, but I'm not sure that I want to unequip any of this other stuff. I think it's all quite good. So actually, maybe we'll just wait until we have more slots for that. You are positive and happy, and I guess you could just grab more fishing boats? Okay. So I guess this is a good time to talk about these. So these are 3 separate, mutually exclusive, tiny civic trees. Tiny civic lines, I guess. They're not even trees. And once you have committed to one of them, in addition to locking you out of the others, it dramatically affects the way people feel about you. People obviously like the people who pick the same one as them and become enemies very quickly with people who didn't. So who exactly has what? We know Batuta took... This is a really annoying process. I wish I didn't have to close it between them. Okay, on this one I don't. All right, so she took communism, and they're the only 2 who have one yet. We don't necessarily have to commit to one, and obviously there is still plenty of tree left. But we should decide probably around now if we're going to. And obviously the thing we're looking for here is like a combination of science and production. Democracy, very ill-suited to this. Communism, on the other hand... Yeah, communism plus 30% production toward completing projects. Does feel like we probably ought to go communism. So, Batuta is going to have a problem with that. But I'm hoping if we declare relatively quickly here, we can influence the rest of the world in our direction. Okay, Alpha Stat in theory just needs more hammers. If it can't get more hammers, then... You know, a rail station's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, we're leaving that as it is. It just assumes if you're if you've left your stuff on growth focus, the game is just like, did you know you could change that? Yeah, growth focus is pretty good, I think. I don't see a problem with it. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, you've begun research on communism, relationship with other leaders, etc. Yep, we have, in theory... Okay, and we did gain almost 2 turns worth of science from that action, so that's cool. We're no longer as interested in pushing culture super fast, so now I think I'm putting you on research mode. But yeah, let's get the culture in gold here. The Institute for Opposite History is in a sorry state. Run down and underfunded, it struggles to get its message commemorating Abbasid legacy to the public. So we can say all were once Abbasids, or the people have moved on. 3 science on science buildings. So in order for that to be as good in the long run, you'd have to have that proc 300 times. There's probably not 100 turns left in the game. But even if there's 50 turns left in the game, if you have at least 6 science buildings, this I think is going to end up being better. Pretty easily, actually. Okay, we produced a migrant. So there's just like nowhere in this city left to live. Well, I don't know that we like where do we want to push more population? Who wants a better economy? Yeah, I kind of think we maybe just go to Alpha Star here. I cannot use the rail network to redistribute you for a number of reasons. You're just going to have to sail all the way over there. But yeah, Alpha Stat could definitely take on some more people. Would be happy to, in fact. I should grab this this coal over here. There's no reason not to have this. I didn't do the research. Oh, jeez. Okay. Entranced by the creative potential of radio, a theater company creates a unique broadcast. Mysterious lights in the sky, troops deployed, and citizens under siege. It is a thrilling new kind of story, but unfortunately, many believe it's actually happening. Yeah, if they're going to put in a quote on the radio technology that's about War of the Worlds, it feels like these two things should be like bound tighter together. Like this event is happening because we have radio. But it feels a little too disconnected for me. Okay, wake up, y'all. Research. Okay, there's a bunch real close by. Let's start working on those. Okay, 900 science. Don't know what that said. Hopefully it wasn't too insulting. Yeah, I'll put down... No, we can put it down in a position where it's just 11. Alright, yeah, and then I gotta remember to go to my other explorers. Nope, not trying to do that. It's just very difficult to select my units. You do research for Green Continent. I really wish there was a show me my explorers button because I don't remember exactly where everybody was. Yeah, I think I just didn't leave anybody up here. Well, is it worth buying another one is the question. How much are they? You know what? Sure. We'll just run over to St. Petersburg and do a quick bit of research. And hopefully gather some more of these before other people can. Interesting that Columbia says 4 of 3 artifacts of all ages. Not sure what that's about. Alright, people are stealing my shit. Whatever. We can only care so much, right? Let's do that. I have allowed these to lapse that I probably shouldn't have. And then y'all can start digging. Wow, there's a lot of stuff real close by. Okay, you know you're going there. Honestly, like, maybe I should buy another explorer too. I wanted to be a little bit cautious with them because I didn't want to obviously have pay a bunch of money that we need for other things, to have a bunch of dead units sitting around. But honestly, like, it is perhaps the case that we should have more. Although I cannot buy one here. 843 might not be enough anymore because the last one was in the 700s, right? And they scale up in cost the more you have. So I am gonna buy one more, at least. Okay, Karka River has overrun its banks. As it turns out, rivers are wont to do, and we have plenty of evidence of that. No, I just can't buy one here. Okay, well, maybe they're even more expensive than I would have guessed. Okay, this city could definitely use some more happiness. Another city-state. Plus 10% science, plus 10% gold is pretty cool. 5% gold for every city-state you're suzerain of is pretty good at this point. Gold buildings getting plus 1 adjacency also. Or, just plus 1 point of resources. I kind of want to take rare metals. But maybe I should just take the large amount of money. Yeah, let's take the large amount of money.
So readily do people adapt themselves to the marvelous contrivances which modern inventive ingenuity.
Plus one production on every production building, also very good. Okay, yeah, that was over 100 gold per turn. Hey there, dudes. How's it going? Okay, so yeah, they're getting that one. It does seem like me becoming aware of the... hey, we did it.
All birds need to fly at the right shaped wings, the right pressure, and the right angle.
Not only did we do it, but we did it on the exact turn that we unlocked aerodynamics, which is convenient. Yeah, it does seem like me becoming aware of the artifacts is what caused everybody else to be able to interact with them, which is not how that should work, but I could totally see it being a sort of a lazy hack together way of doing things on the inside if you, say, don't necessarily care about making things work the right way. I'm not trying to call anybody out here, but... So, okay. Hey, could you prioritize breaking the sound barrier over here? Is that a thing that I could get you to care about? Yeah, maybe I actually want to buy... Well, we have 2 people... You know what? If I'm going to buy another explorer, I would like it to be on this continent, I think. Yeah, 1400. Okay. Totally doable. Totally acceptable. We may still win a cultural victory. We'll see.
Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
Alright, so, a narrative choice. Democracy lies at the heart of any true socialism. Democracy is the name of a different, mutually exclusive branch of the thing, so it feels like they should... I don't know. It feels like they should just think this shit through a little bit. Have 125 settlements. The population across all settlements is like trivial. We're done. We're way done with that. Democracy is indispensable to the working class because only through the exercise of its democratic rights can the proletariat become aware of its class interests. So point toward the ideology legacy path, which is actually worthless. A scientific attribute point, which might be worth something, but honestly, I don't know that we need to research any faster because we're not going to finish. Like we're gonna finish the last project the same turn or the turn after we finish that. Right now, like I think the best thing to do is actually just to get some gold. Also, we got an expansionist point for some reason. I don't know. 10% growth rate seems good. We got a scientific point anyway, so we do have an alliance right now. Let's get plus 10% science, I suppose. I think we do, in fact, want to push all the way to socialism. Communism has given us... So we could trade some of our income for productive forces determinism. I suppose. It also just granted us military units, which I guess is fine. Yeah, I guess here we would like just... build one of the 6 buildings we have that is essentially this payout. Okay, so you can try to get that. That one might not be there by the time you get there. Got an anti-tank gun. So these are the ranged units we were gifted. Okay, this anti-tank gun does not want to be commanded to join up with an officer. I guess that's fine. I guess I don't care about that. So what I should do here is cut the rail station and then go to purchase because it's mostly done. So we can just rush the purchase out like that and then get working on our sound barrier because it's got to get done. Okay, research this continent as well. Got ourselves a narrative choice. I mean, let's see if they'll let me have it. All right, you're still doing your thing. This is a crazy number of what would cause them to what would cause this kind of behavior under the hood. All right, so we found ourselves an axe. We found ourselves a roundel soaked with blood, confirming everybody's whatevers. But so mostly what it does is it confirms people's priors. That's what really matters. Okay, this looks like it's already getting got, but go over there because apparently that's not necessarily an impediment to us also getting it. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I guess go for this one. So how many relics are we at now? We have a total of 10, although we don't have display room for all of them. That's fine. I'm not super broken up about the display issue until we have 15, obviously. How many of these guys do you need? Okay, Ibn Battuta gained vision of our commanders. He probably already had vision of all our commanders, but he didn't know that, of course. I don't know what I would do with you that would matter at all. It seems so unlikely that any of it would matter in the slightest. Actually, you know what? Because we're already going to get there on the science, like when it's time to get there, let's actually put this on a cultural festival so that we can try to... Do they include those? Don't do that. So that we can maybe get the bonus from socialism before we have to build the last thing. And then over here, this station doesn't have any factory resources either. So it wouldn't really make sense to build a rail station. It's probably just like, Gosh. I honestly don't even know what. An opera house? We could be providing some cultural assistance, perhaps? Alright, and we are on our way. At this point, we're saving gold for potentially buying museums. And the communism bonus of constructing a project, I don't think will help with the culture victory, because the last thing you build for the culture victory is technically a wonder, not a project, I believe. I don't really know, what to do for you either. An opera house, I suppose. Sure. I doubt I'm going to be able to get an 18 value laboratory without, cutting something out. The kiln is a culture tile, so I don't really want to break that up. It looks like we can get 12. 12's still pretty good. Okay, yeah, that's gone by the time you got there. I guess run back for this one. Okay, yeah, so they are getting at least some of them before we get there. Okay, so that's gone. That's going to be gone. Sorry, a little distraction there. Yeah, I'm gonna run this explorer all the way out to here, because the stuff that's on this side we already have people closer to. I don't know if we're gonna get to 15. We may not. I guess there's still a lot. Yeah, there's still a lot. It doesn't much matter. I don't know that at this point, I don't know that the amount of time that it takes for us to win the science victory is going to be all that different. In the city park, there's a special place where anyone may stand with any cause and say anything. They call it the Speaker's Corner. Those of us who lived through the early 2000s might be more tempted to think of the free speech zones. All right, yeah, congratulations. You're part of an army. Nope, I clicked on you and told you to join this army. I didn't try to select that guy. All right, Lafayette has completed the first milestone for this. That's a little annoying. I don't know if it's possible to trade relics off of people, but I would assume it's not, because trade is like severely dumbed down in this version of Civ. Your options are incredibly limited. All right, people are stealing lots of science because they got lots of science to steal. And really, how dare they? All right, you get to dig that up. We did reach one first. Hamadan. I don't know. Go to Parsa or whatever. I just had a migrant leave Parsa, but I don't really have time to like do anything, I think, really thoughtful with those. Of all the places here, I mean, we're still negative happiness, so I guess the smart thing to do is just to keep gaining happiness. Also, sometimes there's a tile that has happiness and also 5 industry on it somehow. And it's okay to go for that. To redirect him before he reaches the peninsula and finds that there is nothing there. And keep in mind, I don't think we've gotten all the relics from our various trees either. So even if we don't quite get to 15 off of this, it is still possible we could win the game in this way. All right. Everybody's stealing everything. I suppose I should probably be doing the same. Am I currently robbing you? Yeah, I could rob you some more. And then, like, you're making faces at me. So it feels like, okay, I can only have one theft of each kind going on at a time, I guess. Alright. Stone arrowhead confirms everybody's whatevers. Are there any dig sites left on this continent? It looks like the answer is no. Oh, except for that one. Except for the one right next to Winchester somehow. Okay, so yeah, Colombia has nothing left. South America is where all the remaining artifacts are. And I feel like we have people running for those for the most part. Okay, you were already headed there. I totally had forgotten to move that guy. Once again, like, it's frustrating because you get these people, like, just abandoned all over the map while you're waiting, and then there's no easy way to see where they all are, which is, like, base functionality should be an easy enough thing. So it turns out you don't have any role to play at all, I don't think, and I'm actually going to just delete you so that I don't have to worry about you anymore. Alright, you make the run. We might be able to get that one as well. And at this point we are on 13. I think I won't ever need you again, but you know, go back home and retire. So, we need to build museums. To give me somewhere to put all these things. All right. 2 more museums to go. Ooh, a significant blizzard started a bunch of fires.
One small twig.
That is significant,
combined
I
with
suppose.
others, makes a bundle.
All right, socialism. Do you have a museum here? I think so. Museum in Zabid? Yeah, Zabid does have a museum. Okay, so you got to just do something else. I guess an aerodrome's a good idea in case we were to get attacked. Just defensive airplanes everywhere. We don't actually have any airplanes, but like the capacity to build defensive airplanes everywhere. As you can tell, I'm not really too concerned about it, so I'm not going to bother over here. You know, I guess we do need to do some repairs. They're relatively cheap. All right, fix the temple. Fix the poor broken woodcutter. Yeah, your stuff got a little awkward here for a while, but I think you are still just like in full rest mode. Okay, so that's one more artifact. One that we will certainly get, because we're not even being challenged on it. We are 5 turns away from breaking the sound barrier. This city is still desperately unhappy. Pretty weird that it didn't show the yields on those tiles. All right, where's another good one? Roma has a lot of resources. Berlin has a lot of resources. Unfortunately, those are, you know, Roma's not that far. All right, does Alpha Stadt have a museum? It doesn't. Although, actually, Alpha Stadt might be the worst place to buy one because it can build one. They can afford to build one pretty quickly there. Well, in any case, I need to wait another turn. We don't have the money, but we will. Yeah, and then we'll be trying to rush the World's Fair in one city while trying to rush the last science project for the science victory in a different city. Okay. Do you have a museum? You don't. Let's solve that problem. And then also probably repair your shipyard. And now with more slots, just put these in there. Okay. And at this point, I don't really just hammers, I guess, right? There we go. Why don't we complete our unique quarter? That would seem to be a wise thing to do. Where am I at on this? Like, so 3 turns and 3 turns. Yes, I need this to get that done. So I guess probably, like, for Baghdad, it's just a matter of, which like boosts we want to give. I think cultural festival makes the most sense here because we would like to get that bonus from socialism. Okay, and this is still here and available to be dug. You're good. Just hang out. Somehow got to negative gold there again. Weird stuff happening, but it's fine. We're going to be brought to positive in just a moment here. Sure. Yeah, it's weird that I'm not paying enough attention to my gold to really see the fluctuations, but it is weird that that keeps happening. Okay, repair the bath, probably. Ironworks, I guess. Most of the biggest problem here is that most of our cities are not very relevant anymore, right? There are a lot of places where we're just going to effectively stop paying attention to them. And so it kind of doesn't matter what they build. We only really need Alpha Stadt for the airshow project and another good high industry city for the other project. Speaking of good high industry cities, let's grab some more industry. Tecumseh would like to denounce me. I reject your denunciation. I say no. In fact, you don't dislike me. Take that. That'll show him. Nothing to make a person fall in love with you like micromanaging what they're allowed to feel. Yeah, no, we're good. We're fine. Economically, we are rubber banding like crazy. It's not fine, but we're surviving. It is the important part. Okay, yeah, you live here now. This is your spot. Okay, sorry, we have them, so I need to build a thing. Yeah, I guess the point is I wouldn't want to build a museum in Alpha Stat because we have other stuff to do. Complete for total map reveal and one legacy point. Well, we know that we want to engage in... Wait, I can't. All right, build me a museum real quick while I figure out what the hell's going on. So we broke the sound barrier. We need to construct a launch pad first. Must be placed on flat terrain. Okay, so yeah, actually, sorry. Launch pad comes first. Alright, what do we... Sorry. Real life keeps intruding a little bit here. Do we have a purchase price on this? Like, if this wasn't in the queue, I guess it might not even show me. No, sometimes it will show you things that you can't afford. Sometimes it won't. So it'd be 2,500. There's no way for us to negotiate with other players for like a large payment of gold or anything, as far as I know. So there's not really much we can do about that except what we are doing. Just build it. Okay, what does future tech do at this point in the game? It gives you a wildcard attribute point and increases age progress, which doesn't seem like it would do anything, right? +2 production on military buildings. You know, the radio mastery, right? I talked about how I was interested in making use of that before. Okay. Now, I need to figure out where I'm getting another museum in. Baghdad can't really make buildings. We just ran out of improvable tiles. At Shamara, we don't have the money. That might be what it comes down to, right? It's just money. 8 turns to build a museum. It will be faster to save up the money and throw it down that way. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and delete you. I don't want to have to keep giving orders to this huge army of explorers, unlike all of my opponents, who seem to think it is the most fun in the world. Okay, Catherine the Great gaining vision of my commanders doesn't really mean anything. She could declare war on us, and it probably would be fairly annoying, actually. Right, because she could mess with Alpha Stat. But I think for the moment we're just we're just continuing a pace here. Is anybody else in a... No, nobody else is in a game-winning position, so we're not on that clock. I just need my resources to come around. Okay, so you have a museum already. You actually would build the launch pad faster? Yeah, okay. Well, not faster at this point. Yeah, over here we're building very slowly. I'm going to have you work on an aerodrome. Not because it's a good thing for you to build, but because I don't think you will get there. I think it will cause you to stop asking me. Okay, we press this button for gold. And so next turn we can buy, here's Alpha Stot. Let's plug in some bonus happiness. Next turn we can buy a, what do you call it? A temple somewhere, and we can just kind of get to the process of pursuing both of these victory conditions at the same time. And I probably will do it in Alpha Stot. And we'll reroute Alpha Stot to a different, to the World's Fair, and it'll be these two buildings that go for it. Okay, so that actually creates the resources right there. So museum. Oh wow, that's a lot cheaper than it said it was before. Weird. So let me go and slot the artifacts, giving us some endgame hopes here. So it'd be 17 turns for you to World's Fair. Or one presumes less here? Yeah, you know what? Actually, you just do this. Disregard the thing I had you doing. Okay. Fight back a little bit of our happiness. Alright, and then from here it's just kind of like, whoever wins, right? I so much don't care for, like, to micromanage my resources at this point. These could be rearranged probably in a way that's a little bit more optimal, but I'm just gonna hit the button a couple times. Hopefully y'all understand. So when we finish the first project, okay.
We annihilated the world before your very...
When we finish this first one... Okay, yeah, it doesn't say there's anything to do. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any reason not to just go into the second one immediately. Alright, masteries that we didn't pursue yet that might be useful. +2 production on military buildings. Sure. To help out with research initiatives. That'll keep you busy. Alright, so 10 turns here, 4 turns plus whatever there. It does look like it is going to be a culture victory then. It's hard to imagine that last project going down that quickly. Okay, somebody gained vision of my commanders. Oh no. We got ourselves a little bit of socialism. Is there anything here that's going to give us... No. There's really nothing here that's going to give us a what do you call it? Policies or anything that we would find useful. Sure, wartime manufacturing. Why not? What is this? Lafayette has joined democracy? Okay. Not great for our diplomatic ties in the long run, but the run just it ain't that long anymore. I just say it does seem like comparing what we saw here also to the other game that I played on the channel all the way to completion, it does kind of seem like the enemy explorers become able to interact with ruins or artifacts based on whether or not you can interact with them, and that I guess it's a way to make it always feel kind of like a race, but that honestly I think is pretty crappy. Didn't mean to right click there, sorry. Yeah, there's not really anything here that's like compelling. Why would I focus on any of that stuff when I could just focus on the stuff we're already doing? All right, the penultimate project, or no, that's just the launch pad, right? I still need to do both of the projects. There's too many steps to all of the non-culture victories. All right, that's a lot of science. Good job. Wants to build a big project. You know what? We'll put a wonder. Yeah, put a wonder down. You can focus on that for a while. Okay, so over here, launch satellite is going to take 12 turns by itself. I did not, you know what? I don't think I rebalanced my social policies when I had the opportunity. So I forgot to get public works in, but it's not going to matter because the wonder that I'm building here is gonna outpace everything anyway. We could probably. Hey, Catherine the Great is finally starting to try to win the game. It's maybe a little late for that. Loss is a universal experience, and every facet of life can reflect its sorrowful face. What was once an intimate alliance has crumbled, with nothing but memories for rubble. What the fuck are you talking about? Did we just invent loss now? This game. All right. Well, let's do everything in our power to accelerate this now. Bonus happiness. Bonus happiness is good. Five turns. You know, doing my best. Oh no, my alliance is weakening. Whatever shall I do? The answer is press the next turn button and then refocus the camera on the only part of the map that matters. So this stuff didn't actually purchase. It all went in the build. Why did that? Okay. Whatever. We'll fix it in a second here.
Just as modern mass production.
Yeah, I don't know. None of this stuff matters. That'll keep him busy for a while. Still don't want to do that. Tell you what, go to Alpha Stot. That's a long enough run that I won't have to deal with units there again. I won't have to deal with orders there again. Okay. Now we have added something, however small, to the work being done here. It's just a matter of clicking that button a few times. So, I said earlier in this era that I was a little surprised at how different the artifact distribution was, and I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe that is interesting. Maybe that will keep various.
What's good for M&M Enterprises is good for the country.
You can tell she was trying to read that with like a tone, but she couldn't quite get there. And then I thought that was good because it seemed to me like it was a very real possibility that the multiple games, if you play multiple games of Civs, they're going to be very similar to each other, right? Like it's extremely easy to push up all of the trees at the same time within the first two eras, and especially like decent play just kind of does all of the things at the same time. It's just like basic civilization play. You don't really have to make choices or sacrifice much. And then in this last age, regardless of what you were good at before, this is going to be the fastest victory, right? Probably by a fair margin. Even though we were pounding on this science victory literally the entire time, it's just, it would be so hard for anything to be faster than the cultural victory the way they've got the cultural victory rigged up. You might be able to win a military victory in fewer total turns because it only takes Okay, come on now. Because it only takes, you know, so many. It's only like a couple of civics to get to ideology. We're doing this thing again, where everybody gained a point of population at the same time. We sure are. Curious, isn't it? I guess every celebration is a point of population for everyone, which is cool. But it's like, it's also very tedious. Did you know our yields? Our yields are insane. And that's definitely the thing that matters right now. So yeah, I'm not wild about the shape of a game of Civ 7, and then that is complicated by the fact that I feel like if you're just trying to win, you're going to end up playing a lot of games that have that same shape. I don't know. I guess it's one more thing on the pile. I really do think that this is not. It's just not in a release state. They needed to drawing board this like a bunch more. Well, we did it. Hooray. I mean, it's a fanfare. It is literally a fanfare. You gotta give them that. I don't know if I think it's sufficient for you won the game, but it is something. They do throw you a little party, at least.
One can traverse the world laid out in pavilions for the amusement of the crowd, and still be home for dinner.
Oh, see, that's interesting. The game that I played with Amabel, we won a cultural victory as well, because it's by a huge margin the fastest one to do. And we got exactly this same scene with exactly that same line, and I thought it was at the very least culture specific, because in that game we were playing as France. Seeing that, and it's sort of clarifying that there's even less flourish and celebration than I thought. And then just a blown up version of that picture. You can tell it's not like a higher res version or a version that starts larger. It's literally just, they took that and sized it up, because look at the resolution. Ugh. So people were starting to get, we know Catherine did this as well, so people were starting to get on the science thing. In this game at least, they were kind of on our tail. In the other game I played, I feel like we won so fast nobody had a chance to get anywhere. And in the end, yeah, it's like 26 legacy points to my nearest competitor at 11. And just, that was not the highest difficulty in their defense. You know, it was only 7. Why is there a gap here? Why do 4 of us have an Isabella's culture points sized gap in our bars? I guess they didn't actually even finish fixing the bar screen. But look, we won a smiley face for completing tutorial challenges, I guess. And also now we can start with a bowl. What does it do? Great question. Couldn't bother telling us. We'll have to go look at it on the keepsakes menu. Why does it just not have the text? Okay. This game is in horrible shape. There's a lot of ideas here that I think are basically good, and a lot more ideas that I think are at their core so unbakeable that I don't know how they thought they were even going to get them to half-baked. But they certainly haven't gotten there. And I just don't... I was about to say, I don't know why you release a game in this state. And the answer is capitalism. The answer is yes, I do know. They have a publisher. The publisher insists on there being money coming in. because, publishing video games is expensive. But it does suck. I think it does suck, and I bet there's a lot of people on the Civ 7 team who are pretty unhappy with the thing that had to happen here for contractual reasons. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, and actually for Civ 7 as a whole, I think, for a while at least, because I really do feel like it's going to produce a lot of kind of samey content, and they've done a better job differentiating the civs in this game than they had in past games, because at least in this game, you're kind of always going to have a unique military unit that is relevant to the combats that are going on in the game and stuff. But it turns out you could double or even triple the amount of differentiation there was between the civs in the past couple of games, and it still would be nowhere near good enough. Things are just too samey from game to game, so I don't really think it would be necessarily terribly interesting to do anymore. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope y'all at least enjoyed the series or are having a better time with the game than me or something. When you come back next time, there's going to be a different thing in this slot, and I think we're all going to be happier for it. So come back for that, and we'll see you then.